Judge Adrian Bosman to get us kicked off.
10 seconds.
22.2 deadlifts and bar facing burpees. We're going up and then we're going down. 10-minute time cap here.
That's right, you're at the base of the roller coaster. You just pulled out of the station and now we're starting to climb. We're getting higher and higher, 1 to 10. Now, Sean, this isn't the first time we've had a rep scheme like this, 1 to 10. In fact, we had something similar, I believe it was in 2018, where we had the dumbbell squats and bar facing burpees. And if anybody remembers, once you got to the round of 7, it got really, really nasty. Now with this one, we're tacking on a 9-to-1 on the backside. So like I said, it's be very smooth at the start, efficient like you see with Laura Horvath and Emma Lawson. And really, again, this is gonna be a back half race.
Both Lawson and Horvath are already in their rounds of 5. Horvath now starting her round of 6 as Emma Lawson closing out her burpees on her round of 5. 10-minute time cap here. Laura Horvath continues to keep that pace that she came out of the gate.
They said round of 5. Okay, what does that mean? You've only done 15 reps of both. But in round 6 and 7, you nearly match that with 13 apiece, and then we get to the round of 8. So like I said, this gets heavy and hard in a hurry. So don't waste your time too early with the smaller reps. It's, again, round 7 is really where this event starts to take shape.
And that's right where Laura Horvath is. This is her round of 7 bar-facing burpees. Emma Lawson is on her deadlifts here in round number 7. And Laura Horvath continues to attack this workout, getting set to move into her round of 8 deadlifts. Now Horvath back to the barbell. Emma Lawson continuing to work her way through the burpees. Coming up after this matchup, we have our second throwdown between Justin Medeiros and Saxon Panchik, so you're going to want to stick around for that as Laura Horvath back to the burpees and closing out her round of 8.
And you really see the difference of strengths and weaknesses between Emma Lawson and Laura Horvath. Horvath just get a no rep. Now, the burpee standard here for this year is a little bit different. It's a 2-foot takeoff, but a 1-foot landing is allowed. So those of you guys that are watching at home, understand that it has changed. The takeoff has not, but the landing has. Look at Laura Horvath and the speed she has on these deadlifts. A lot different than we saw from Emma Lawson, but it's not a huge surprise. You gotta remember, Emma Lawson is 17 years old. She is just learning really how to use her strength and to develop that. Laura Horvath has a few years under her belt as she is one of the stronger females in the field.
And Laura Horvath has not slowed down so far. She is in her round of 9 already. She'll do 1 round of 10 after this, then it's back down the ladder as Emma Lawson is now in her round of 9 on the deadlifts.
It's so hard to stay above the bar after your last burpee and to just pick it up, but Laura is doing a masterful job as we saw on that transition. Like I said before, you can lose a lot of time on the burpees, but even more from that transition from burpee to deadlift.
3.5 minutes have gone by, and Laura Horvath is in her round of 10 bar-facing burpees. Emma Lawson 14 reps back of Horvath.
And if I was going to give anyone a time to maybe step off the gas for a second, I would give it to this 10 burpees. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to be unbroken on the deadlifts. With the 10 burpees, the cresting of that hill is that one moment where you can take a little bit off the gas. I'm not saying go slow, a little intensity off the gas before you get down into the round of 9.
Horvath is now making the turn back down. This is her second round of 9.
Important to note that the time cap is 10 minutes as we're just past the 4-minute mark, so it's 55 reps to get to 10, but 45 reps on the back half going 9 down to 1.
With the 128 mark is when Laura Horvath will be done with her second round of 9. Then she'll move down to her second round of 8. And she pretty early in this workout grabbed a lead over Emma Lawson, and that has just widened as we have moved our way through 22.2.
And where the lead's coming from, it's not on the bar-facing burpees. It's actually on the deadlifts that Laura's doing. But now Laura's taking her first big break, and that was between a burpee. I thought she was resting for her deadlift. Where she's getting a break at least is that Lawson is having to break up her deadlift sets, where Laura Horvath has been going unbroken and quickly each set.
This is the round of 8, second time for Horvath, as now Emma Lawson as well on the left side of your screen. She is working her way back down. More than halfway through, 10-minute time cap, 4.5 minutes remaining. And this is the first time that we've seen Laura Horvath kind of fall off that pace that she established early on.
A very, I would say, unknown element of the burpee is how much it takes away from your core. If you want to really know what that feels like, mix something like a GHD sit-up or a toes to bar with a burpee, and you'll be shocked how hard it is to actually contract and extend to get off of the floor from the burpee. The deadlift is going to do the same thing in the opposite fashion. And so this is one of those that's going to sneak up on you very quickly. We just have 4 minutes left. Horvath is well above the pace she needed to be at to get underneath that 10-minute mark, but now we're starting to see the compounding effect between the posterior midline fatigue and the anterior midline fatigue from the burpee.
Horvath now into her second round of 7, a 10-rep lead over Emma Lawson with 3.5 minutes to go now.
Now Lawson, though she was about 16 reps behind Horvath at the halfway point, her burpee pace is actually a much faster pace than Horvath was on the back half. So even though she's taking maybe 1 break per set, she is making up time on the burpees. So it's not set in stone just yet.
Emma Lawson within 11 reps of Laura Horvath. Horvath needs to get to the 158 rep mark to move into her round of 6.
Then Horvath taking big breaks during the burpees. Lawson taking a break during the deadlifts. And as I said, as we get closer and closer, right, this is 100 total reps if you were to finish this event for the deadlifts and the burpees. When you get down to the 6 down to 1, that's only 21 reps left.
Round of 6 for Laura Horvath. And she rifles through those deadlifts. And now 6 more bar-facing burpees. Now the pace picking up a little bit more for Laura Horvath.
As Laura's approaching her set of 5, this is where I said the darkness sets in. You are max fatigue, max lactic acid, max lung capacity, just absolutely smoked. But you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 left. 2 minutes to go. This is where you embrace the darkness and finish towards the end.
Horvath into her round of 5. Less than 2 minutes to go. A total of 30 reps remain.
Look at the top part of your screen. Emma Lawson, she was 12 back about a minute ago, and she's cut down 4 reps on Laura Horvath.
90 seconds as Emma Lawson is trying to reel in Laura Horvath, but she might run out of time. She did carve a couple reps off of that deficit, as you said, Chase, as Horvath is back to the barbell for her round of 4.
And your big moves need to be made on your big sets. The 7 to 7, that's where this workout is won. That is where this workout can be lost. Once you get to about the 4, 3, 2, 1, you pretty much paved your way to the finish line from there.
Less than a minute to go. Horvath with 9 reps remaining. Her lead is back up to double digits over Emma Lawson. And now the round of 2. And Laura Horvath has a chance here to finish inside the time cap. 2 reps left. And Laura Horvath finishes 22.2931. unofficially make it 9:30.60 seconds as Emma Lawson is trying to get her last 2 reps in here. She has 10 remaining. Five seconds left. Lawson back to the barbell. And we have hit the time, and we'll have to wait to see what her official score is. Looks like she was 4 reps shy of finishing, but Laura Horvath digs into the reserve fuel tank.
That is not what I want to see.
And is able to get across the finish line inside the 10-minute time cap. Great performance from both of these athletes.
Right off the bat, Laura came out blazing. Same with Emma Lawson at the start. But look at the speed that Horvath had on the deadlifts on the first half of this. But one thing we warned at the top of it is that this is not a front half event. This is a back half event. Those 55 reps of each on the lead up is going to set yourself up well or poorly for the back half. And we saw Emma Lawson starting to break up the deadlifts again in that meat part of the workout, that 7-to-7 round. Laura Horvath gave up a little ground there in round 6 and 5, but once we got to the set of 4, she turned it back on, finished the way she started, and that was enough to get her ahead of Emma Lawson here towards the end. But again, 10 minutes, Sean, is a tight time cap for an event like this.
Laura Horvath takes our first matchup. 9:31 for her. 9:30.06 officially. Emma Lawson 4 reps back, and Horvath and Lawson are cooling down here. They're going to talk to Derek Forrest here in just a second. But it was really interesting to see the 2 contrasting styles there. Like you said, one athlete really excelled. That's Laura Horvath on the barbell. And it was Emma Lawson who really made her money on the burpees.
She did, and there is room to strategize in here. It isn't just a full go from the beginning and you have to hold that the whole time. There is enough time, not a lot of time, but there's enough time to maximize your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. So if you're not a great deadlifter, we saw Chuck say that, as you get to the heavier sets, there is time to break it up. And what that's going to do, it's going to take a lot of the time under tension off of the barbell, as long as you can keep a steady pace on the burpees. And I think one of the things athletes tend to do in a format like this 1 to 10 pyramid style, is they get so psyched about the beginning part. Feels great, feels easy. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there. Not so fast. Yeah. Not so fast. You go to 5, you still got, let me do 85 more reps to go. So pacing that out early and saving a little bit for the back half is going to be the secret to this event.
Let's send it down to Derek Forrest, who is with Emma Lawson and Laura Horvath.
So we have your winner for 22.2, Laura Horvath. Laura, you were able to get under the time cap to finish this workout. What was the movement that you enjoyed in this one, if you could enjoy any of them?
Oh, the deadlift for sure. The burpees are a trap. This whole workout's a trap. You look at it like 1 to 10, 10 to 1. Oh, it's not a lot of reps, but it's a lot of reps. Around 9, 8, 7 on the way back, it starts to hurt really bad. You just have to keep pushing.
Emma, you were telling me for you it was your lower back.
Yeah.
The compounding movements between the deadlifts and the burpees. Just what's the advice you would give everybody else watching and how they would do this one?
I thought I started off slow enough, but I didn't. So I think you need to start a lot slower than you think and start breaking it up early and just try to keep moving. No slow transition. So I think that's what it really comes down to.
Thank you very much. Your winner for 22.2, Laura Horvath.
Don't go anywhere, everybody, because we have another matchup coming up. Justin Medeiros and Saxon Panchik, and Matt Fraser joins us in the booth. The 22.2 announcement is sponsored by Rogue. Don't weaken. Trifecta, the official meal delivery partner of CrossFit. Thorn, the official supplement partner of CrossFit. And Erasti, the official rapid recovery provider of CrossFit.
Horvath and Lawson set the standard for 22.2, and a very high standard, mind you. Our men are up next, but before we bring them out, let's learn a little bit more about them in this feature presented by Noble.
Justin Medeiros and Saxon Panchik know a lot about expectations. They also know how to live up to them. Panchik had expectations put on him based on his last name. His older brother Scott is one of the best and most consistent men to ever compete in the sport. But Saxon is quickly emerging from his sibling's shadow. Last year, he had a career-best 5th place finish at the CrossFit Games. In 2022, Saxon is looking to earn his 5th straight trip to Madison. And if that happens, he has a chance to do something his older brother never did: finish on the podium. That is something Justin Medeiros has already accomplished twice. Medeiros went from newcomer to household name in the blink of an eye. He finished 3rd at the Games as a rookie in 2020. As a result, he was expected to be the heir apparent to Matt Fraser. Medeiros claimed the title of fittest on earth just 1 year later. As he has risen through the ranks of the men's division, so have the expectations put on him. Now that he's claimed the throne, he's expected to hang on to it. If he manages to do that, he will find himself in some pretty elite company with 2 of the greatest of all time. Justin Medeiros and Saxon Panchik know a lot about expectations. So far, both have lived up to them. This year, they hope to take the next step and exceed them.
Alrighty, guys, what do you say we bring our men out onto the floor? Yeah? Alrighty. Coming from a long line of desirable genetics, 2021's 5th fittest man on earth, Saxon Panchik. Second male is your reigning and defending fittest man on earth and birthday boy. I see we've got a sign over here. Justin Medeiros.
I love it. You got to give the hug to your dad there. But these 2 men getting ready set for 22.2. Justin, I want to ask you this. First of all, I want to say happy birthday, by the way. But you're getting set to defend your very first title. What are the expectations going into 2022?
Yeah, man. I mean, the goal every year is just to always improve, and I want to beat myself from last year. And last year, I won, so.
It's hard to beat that, right? Hard to beat that. Saxon, for you, careful how you answer this question, but your brothers are watching at home. Any bragging rights for beating them in this workout?
There's always bragging rights. And it's just setting the tone and letting them know what they need to beat.
All right, well, it's going to be fun to see these 2 throw down in 22.2. For more on the matchup, we're going to send it over to Sean and Chase.
Justin Medeiros and Saxon Panchik, 2 men who finished in the top 5 at the CrossFit Games last year, and 2 men who currently sit inside the top 5 on the Worldwide Open leaderboard. Last year, they finished different spots on the Worldwide Open. Saxon Panchik was 4th, Justin Medeiros 57th, but did go on to win the title of fittest man on earth, something the guy joining us now knows a whole lot about. Matt Fraser in the booth. I feel like you're retired, but you're still working hard. What kind of things do you have on your plate right now?
A little bit of everything. Obviously HWPO training, it was taking up a lot more time. That's where we're putting a ton of our priority. But recently took on the opportunity to coach some athletes. So we got Mal O'Brien and Jake Marconi living up in Vermont now. So they got good training partners, and that's been super, super exciting, getting to watch and coach Mal every single day.
That's always a weird transition, going from athlete to coach. What do you like most about that?
Oddly enough, it wasn't weird at all. I kind of fell into the role very, very naturally. but it's when you have an athlete like Mal and Jake, it makes life very easy. They're incredibly coachable. They want to be in there. You're not having to bribe them to go harder or do more. It's a dream situation for a coach.
Well, now that you have seen two very talented athletes go through that, have you changed your recipe for success at all? And if so, how?
I mean, it's going to get rough towards the end of that, and it's got to make sure it doesn't get it before that. So negative splitting the deadlifts, right? Working your way up. We said roller coaster style. You're working your way up, cresting the hill, and then it's hands up all the way down on the back half of this. Don't waste your time on the burpees. I said you don't need to sprint them. You just have to get good transitions and not that extra step of pity, as I usually tell some of my athletes when they're looking up at the ceiling in between burpees, and then 5 down to 1, embrace the darkness. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to get there as fast as you can.
All right, these guys look ready. Let's get this thing kicked off. Back down to Adrian Bosman to get us started.
10 seconds.
Here we go. Saxon Panchik, Justin Medeiros, 22.2. We're going to go up, and then we're going back down. 200 total repetitions.
Matt, when you first got to open it, you had your idea of what it was going to be like. After seeing Laura and Emma go, any other things you picked up for these guys?
Yeah, I think for these two and this caliber of athlete, there's no pacing. I think for the regular gym goer, you should be cautious on the way up. That the sets of like 1 through 7 on the way up are going to be a trap. It's going to get exponentially harder when you're going up to the peak. I think for these guys, it's 100 deadlifts at 225. It's 100 burpees. I think for them, it's put the pedal down and just hang on.
Second of our 2 matchups is both athletes are in their rounds of 5. I want to correct something we said earlier on the standards. The jump standard on the bar facing burpee is the same as it was in 2021. Don't have to go 2 feet. It's going to speed some things up.
Matt, have you played with that standard different than we had in the past?
Yeah, I've played with standards of, there's always a possibility of what if they don't require this, what if they don't require that. And it's kind of the same as, training something like a wall ball to a 9-foot target. I don't do it often, but it changes your cycle rate. It changes the effort going in, so you need to adjust your speed based off that. And so for here, it's like we're so ingrained. We've competed with one standard for so long, so it can feel odd doing the standard to almost like an easier version where it doesn't need to be a 2-foot takeoff. And I think that can throw off a couple of people. So this kind of touches back to what I was talking about earlier of don't rush into the workout. As soon as you see the workout, go play with the standard. Walk through it. Practice not doing a 2-foot takeoff. Tomorrow, practice miniature rounds and get more familiar with it with intensity. And then on Saturday, that's when you hit it full speed. Once you're familiar with the new standard, so you don't need to think about it and constantly remind yourself as you're doing the workout.
Justin Medeiros is into his round of 8, as is Saxon Panchik. In the round of 6, Saxon got hit with a no rep that allowed Medeiros to open up a little bit of a lead on him, but now Saxon is starting to reel him in just a little bit as we are on our way up here. 1 to 10, then 10 to 9, back down to 1, I should say. 200 total repetitions. Medeiros is not even halfway through as we approach the 3-minute mark.
And we said on the women's side, this is the meat rounds. These are the money rounds. That 7 to 7, we said, is that, and as you said, Matt, it's not necessarily go slow in the beginning, maybe not waste some time, but it's waiting till we get here where you really start to throttle down.
Yeah, I think the commentary for the regular gym goers versus these two individuals is completely different. I'd be shocked if we see Justin's pace slow at all. I'm willing to bet he's going to get to the set of 10 and then put down the hammer. And I mean, Saxon is in peak shape right now. So I mean, they both look phenomenal. They both don't look like they're fatigued. I think they're going to put up some very impressive and scores that will hold their own on the leaderboard.
Justin Medeiros is now into his round of 10, and Saxon Panchik is closing out his round of 9. So Medeiros able to open up a little bit more of a lead here as we are at the crest of the ladder. And now it'll be back down in numbers after Justin Medeiros completes these 10 bar-facing burpees. Again, you don't have to have a 2-foot takeoff. Same standard that we had last year in the 2021 quarterfinals. Matt, you've worked with Justin. You've talked to him. You've been around him, trained with him. What makes him so special?
I mean, it's kind of tough to pick one thing and where to start. You know, he's an incredibly impressive athlete. He's super young. I mean, he has such a long runway ahead of him, but he approaches things correctly. The biggest thing that stands out to me is, you know, he won the games off the 57th place finish in the Open. You know, he is laser focused on his goal. He knows what his priority is, and the priority is the games. It's not the Open. So, you know, he goes through flows with his training. Some point in his training, he's concerned about getting stronger and not being able to breathe heavy, but then when the time's right, he starts shifting his training and peaking for the right time.
Right now, he's on his way back down. Justin Medeiros is in his second round of 9 bar-facing burpees. Saxon Panchik has managed to close the gap a bit here. Now just 4 reps back of Medeiros as we have now just 5 minutes remaining. Halfway through here, 22.2.
Like I said at the top of the show when the way we're going, this is a nasty little couplet between the deadlift barbell pull from the floor and then the burpee push from the floor. Matt, when you're looking at this couplet between the two, we think complementary movements. Oh, it's push-pull a little bit. Not quite when you put these two together.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of hinging. I think efficiency is going to be key here. You know, if you watch Justin, he's not snapping both feet up at the same time. You know, stepping up out of your burpee, you know, if you're doing it efficiently and quickly, they're barely slower than jumping both feet up at the same time, but they use a fraction of the energy. The other thing I want to point out, Justin's doing a great job. He's changing directions every time he jumps over the bar. So he's not getting dizzy by the time he goes back to his deadlifts. And that, I think, after 100 reps, starts to add up.
Medeiros now done with his second round of 7 deadlifts and into his second round of 7 bar-facing burpees. Saxon Panchik has now fallen back. He's 8 reps behind.
Unbelievable performance, and you know, Matt, you called it. It's just there's a way to look at it from this individual athlete side and maybe your casual athlete side.
Yeah, pacing for the defending champ is going to be a little bit different than your regular affiliate.
Just add a little bit of line there, and you got your racing, not for these athletes here. But everyone else watching, we might want to use the P word when it comes to pacing out this workout.
Do not try that at home. One more look at just went down, and both of these men had an aggressive pace out of the gate, and both of them able to hang on to it.
But what was cool to see is that it wasn't out of control. It was just an intense pace from start to finish. And you want to think about, if you just gave them 10 and 10, how would you do that quickly? That's the pace they sustained all the way up through this. As we said, it's 100 deadlifts, it's 100 bar-facing burpees, but Justin Medeiros' transitions were a thing of beauty. It was put the bar down, and then I lay down on the ground as I do that. It was hop over the bar, set my feet, and pick up the bar. And that is a lot of time you can save, and turn not a lot of intensity that you need to add in to make up for that lost time.
Both men finishing inside the 10-minute time cap. Justin Medeiros will do it the fastest, and then Saxon Panchik was about 20 seconds behind him. Your results for our second matchup: Medeiros 7:53 now, and Saxon Panchik at 8:22, and the two of them are with Derek Forrest.
All right, your winner for 22.2, Justin Medeiros. Now, before the workout, we were talking about strategy and, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and that's something you wanted to do. Was that your game plan, and how were you able to break up your rest?
Yeah, I know. For me, I just wanted to, kind of similar to the first workout. I mean, you kind of found that that pace for the first round, and see if you can hold that throughout the whole workout. So for me, I just really wanted to keep my reps the same speed and keep that same pace and not too much of a drop off. So I was able to do that. So felt good.
Saxon, in terms of cooling down from this workout, for you, for all the other athletes watching, how do you go about that moving forward?
Hop on a bike 5 minutes and hop on a foam roller.
Sounds like a good plan. I wish I was doing that right now. Your winner for 22.2, Justin Medeiros.